Hey guys, still here and welcome back to ICBM. In today's video I'm covering the Super Naval Mod by Tarsus. There is a lot to unpack, so I've decided to jump right into a battle against the AI to show you what all these various different mods, or well, what these various assets combined in this mod allow you to do. We're going to start with the Heavy Battlecruiser. The Heavy Battlecruiser is a, well, as it shows, pretty much a battleship. It can target anything. This thing can go after submarines by carrying torpedoes. Not just that, however, because you can upgrade the heavy missile cruiser to also carry ASROC. This will replace the submarine, or the torpedo, and it is an anti-submarine rocket, that's the abbreviation ASROC. It carries a long range, and it can, if you also happen to have tactical nuclear weapons, carry a nuclear tip. Use with caution. These things are going to be very deadly against submarines, but I imagine that if you drop one on an unsuspecting AI submarine, they might consider that an act of nuclear war instead of just your submarine being sunk. So be careful with these, they are a bit sensitive. In order to get the heavy battlecruiser, you're going to first need improved powerful engines. Those will unlock the heavy battlecruiser. Now, of course, these are nice upgrades for your navy anyways. Powerful engines, improved powerful engines, they increase the speed. Now also unlock the heavy battlecruiser. That immediately leads me to the Directed Energy Sea-Whiz. Normally, ships have an anti-missile system, if you have researched SAMs. SAMs and ABMs, these allow you to shoot down incoming cruise missiles. These, of course, allow you to target enemy aircraft. Without these, you can still be effective against these platforms if you have directed energy weaponry. This is going to come at a range of 400. It has a speed of 1,000. They're very, very capable at shooting down missiles. I don't think that it makes the heavy missile cruiser invulnerable, but it definitely aids in survivability. So we've seen the missile system, or the anti-missile system, and the torpedoes / ASROC. What else does it carry? Well, anti-ship missiles. This is a new weapon system that gets introduced by the mod. Very important to distinguish these from the standard surface-to-surface / ship-to-ship missile. These are different in stats. They have a range of 1650 and 2400 when fully upgraded. 1650, 2400. Remember those numbers. The anti-ship missiles, when fully upgraded, have a range of 3,000. A speed of 3,000, but a range of 1634. And they fire off quite a few missiles. Once you have a battlecruiser that is fully upgraded with these missiles, it is very, very dangerous to any other navy. One limiting factor, however, is line of sight / visibility. You need to make sure that you can at least spot 3,000 meters. Or 3,000, I think, kilometers. And your heavy cruiser, normally won't do that. It has a long-wave radar of 750. So that is a bit limited. But, of course, you can upgrade this and have a better long-wave radar. But ideally, bring an AWACS over to an enemy fleet, or at least make sure that it's capable of spotting it. And when it has eyes on it, then this thing can target it very, very quickly. And do a ton of damage in the process. Now, it's not just the heavy cruiser that gets the upgrade of the laser Sea-Whiz, the standard cruisers also get it. But what the standard cruisers do not get is the ability to fire cruise missiles of the SSX-9 Skyfall class. These are nuclear-tipped cruise missiles, and they are different from the medium-range ballistic missiles or short-range ballistic missiles that these things carry. These have a range of 2475, a speed of 3000, and a minimum range of 200. So 2475 meter range. These have a range of 4500. That's another 2000 kilometer range. And that allows you to target them, or to throw them out against pretty much anything. This is the range of the Skyfall. I can target deep into Russia when I'm in Athens, or close to Athens. I can cover almost half of West Asia, and I can cover quite a bit of Africa already. That is one range, or one cruiser, one heavy battlecruiser. If you assist this heavy battlecruiser with, let's say, an AWACS over the Mediterranean, one heavy battlecruiser can pretty much single-handedly dominate everything. That's how powerful these things are. Now, what I'm currently researching is AWACS to make sure that I get more utility out of this aircraft. Oh, sorry, out of this ship. Now, in the meanwhile, the nuclear war has already started, and this also allows me to highlight another element. What we have over here is the Naval Air Base, which I have covered in a previous video. But the Naval Air Mod, the Super Naval Mod, also adds interceptors. An interceptor is an aircraft that is exceptionally good at taking out enemy aircraft at beyond visual range, provided that you give them that weapon system. Now, I already have all the upgrades for the missile tech, so I have the best hypersonic missiles, and I have also upgraded my air-to-air missilery. But what I currently have these things set to is the harm, which I'll cover in a bit. If I want to target the enemy aircraft that comes in, I'm going to need the BVR missile, beyond visual range. These things, let's see, this is a fighter, here's an interceptor. This one carries 2 air-to-air missiles, the standard ones, if you will, but they are upgraded. Range 400, speed 2000. These ones have a range of 1400, which makes them far more effective at targeting units at range, but not nearly as good at targeting units up close. These things are not dogfighters. That's what you have your standard fighters for. The standard fighters have a speed of 1000, the interceptors have a speed of 1100. And there we go, the aircraft takes a couple of damaging hits. Over here we have the... Yeah, this is one of the the interceptors that's currently attacking a bomber. And then it's going to return to the carrier, because the carrier also sports these things. They also sport interceptors. So the carriers are upgraded by the Naval Mod, and they don't just carry fighters and attack bombers. No, they also carry interceptors. Very fancy aircraft, especially when you have them fully upgraded. And they are a really nice asset in taking out aircraft quickly. Of course, in order to make that range work, let me highlight it again, you need a spotting range of 3000. And that's why AWACS is so incredibly valuable. If you want to use that range, you first have to see it. So around your aircraft carrier, around your naval bases, make sure you run air patrols. You need to see the enemy before you can target it. Alright, what else? Well, the Naval Air Base itself, I have already covered this in a different video. It allows you to launch the attack bombers that you can find from an aircraft carrier, and also replenish an aircraft carrier pretty quickly. Because in case of this aircraft carrier, let me just get this thing out of my area, so that I can no longer standardly resupply it. I mean, an aircraft carrier, if you want to put aircraft on it, has to be in your coastal waters. It doesn't matter where it is, but it has to be inside your coastal waters. Unless you have a naval air base. You can use that as a stepping stone. And normally this fighter has a range to here. But I can also just rebase it and tell it to go over there. So I can just tell this thing... Oh, sorry, this is... No, an attack bomber. I already have a full complement of attack bombers. That's why that doesn't work. I need a fighter. And I can just tell the fighter to rebase to the aircraft carrier. This way it's going to be a one-way trip for the fighter, and it's going to be stationed on the aircraft carrier. So let's say that you have an aircraft carrier that's operating at, oh, I don't know, the east coast of North America. And you have been skirmishing a bit with the North American Air Force. You want to resupply it, but you don't feel like dragging it all the way back to your main area, in this case Europe. You can then use the Naval Air Base and just send aircraft on a one-way trip. So that means you can resupply them all the way here, because they don't have to make it back to base. They just have to make it to the aircraft carrier. And that's a really neat way of getting these things resupplied. So it strikes as a sort of... well, it doesn't really strike. It serves multiple purposes. It serves as a, as you can see, a seriously large sonar net. It serves as a launching spot for interceptors, which are very valuable and are not launched from the airbase. And it serves as a stepping stone point for resupplying an aircraft carrier that's far out at sea. Now, let's launch an AWACS. Let's make sure that I get a bit more information. The AWACS has a standard range of long wave 1500. I don't believe I have those upgraded yet. No, I don't. Let's get that fixed. Keep in mind, this is 1500, right? From here to Samara. But the range on those interceptors is even more. They have a range of 3000. So having a very good radar system is going to allow you to take out jets pretty much the moment that they take off. Something else that I have spotted is a radar sight, and that allows me to show you what goes on with the new research. That is called SEED, Suppression of Enemy Air Defenses. They're military actions designed to suppress enemy surface-based air defenses, including not only surface-to-air missiles, but also interrelated systems. Fancy word for saying they also cover early warning radar. Suppression can be accomplished by both physically destroying the system or by disrupting and deceiving them through electronic warfare. It unlocks the ARM, the anti-radiation missile, which is designed to detect and home in on enemy radar, radio emission sources. And what these things allow you to do, they reduce radar range and accuracy. So having one interceptor, for example, and that's one of the pods that you can put on them. This is the electronic warfare pod, and this allows you to reduce the enemy radar range. I'm not sure if I can tell you exactly, or show you exactly how that works, because I cannot see what the radar is on this one, how much radar range it actually has. But what this pod allows you to do is just jam enemy radar. Let's see, can I show you the interceptor at this point? Because I just spotted a jet here. This thing should be pretty much in range from the get-go. Interceptor takes off. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, I lost line of sight. I need to get that thing spotted. There you go. Now the interceptor fires 2 beyond visual range missiles. These are the upgraded ones. I gotta highlight that because the standard ones are not that great range. But they immediately take attempt to take out a missile or an aircraft as it comes in. And I find that their accuracy is a bit lackluster for this particular test. Anyway, we have seen what the jamming pod does, somewhat. Now to show you the harm, the anti-radiation missile. So this one is going to go out and target the the radar site here. They have a minimum range of 1000 and a range of 715. I don't exactly understand how that works. But they are capable of taking out a radar site. At least one would think so. There we go. Missile away. Radar destroyed. I haven't quite been able to figure out why I would need to use these things when I can just use a bomber, let's say, from one of my standard airfields with an air-to-surface missile. I'm not really sure what the benefit is, but maybe I'm just missing the point here. Okay, what else do we have? Well, we have the coastal missile battery. This bad boy over here. It carries the anti-ship missile, that's the same weapon system as the heavy cruisers have. And they carry the nuclear anti-ship missile. They're not as deadly. Or at least, sorry, they're not as long range. No, actually, sorry, they're longer range. I was confused with the other one. 1634 or 1800. Minimum range of 200 and speed of 3000. These will allow you to target ships with exceptional lethality, because a standard anti-ship missile might not do it, but a nuclear cruise missile or nuclear anti-ship missile definitely will. Very, very deadly, these coastal mobile missile batteries. And if you look at the description, you can find a link to a gameplay that I did where I was using these, and they were just taking out ships all over the place. These things are so incredibly deadly. And I also lost a few ships to these things as well. So not to be underestimated. What else? Oh yeah, destroyers. I believe this is something that the mod changes. You can have your destroyer with 2 different loadouts. standard, torpedoes, and surface-to-surface missiles. And of course, when you actually have researched SAMs, they also get surface-to-air missiles. But how about having a a short-range ballistic weapon? That immediately takes them away from their standard loadout. So it means that you don't have surface-to-air missiles, you don't have the ability to take on enemy ships, but you can target pretty much everything else, as long as it's ashore. Using the short-range ballistic missile. Required research still is the tactical nuclear weapon. You need these things, so get your thermonuclear bombs and then your tactical nuclear weapons. And once you have those, well, it is party time. Because then your destroyers also get short-range ballistic missiles. Destroyers are usually meant as escorts. I'd say escorts for cruisers, mostly. But when you have, let's say, 4 destroyers together, and you put 2 of them on anti-ship duty, and 2 of them on short-range ballistic missile duty, well, then you have a pretty potent strike package. So you gotta be quite careful with these things. Now, what I was researching earlier was AWACS, and that also allows me to bring a carrier, advanced early warning and control aircraft, on a cruiser. So, let's say that you have a submarine, or you suspect that there's a submarine. This thing is capable of providing not only sonar, but also better long-wave radar at 1550 range, versus the standard cruiser's range of 850. And, of course, I can just move this thing away from the battlecruiser, or the heavy battlecruiser. And let's say that I suspect that there's a threat somewhere over there. I can then use the anti-ship missile as a very long-range threat. This is a potent combination. If you're looking to target stuff all the way over there, you're looking at the range of the short-range, the Skyfall cruise missile. And that will also take out ships. These things can be stopped. They can be shot down. They're treated as a cruise missile. But I don't want them to be stopped. So if you don't want that to happen, get the MIRV research. They will split the Skyfall into several smaller missiles, or the Skyfall splits into several smaller missiles, making them that much more difficult to shoot down. All of this goes to show that these things can be upgraded significantly. And it's going to be a real menace. A fully upgraded battlecruiser could dominate the Mediterranean. A fully upgraded battlecruiser over here can dominate, depending on where you're playing from, it could dominate either the, let's say, the coastline from Jacksonville to Mexico, or in reverse, hit everything from Managua to Belém, if you put it south of Santo Domingo. That's how powerful these things can get. Now then we have the missile vehicles. The missile vehicles you know, but what they don't, what you might not know is the ERW. ERW is an enhanced radiation weapon, and this one unlocks neutron bombs. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't exactly know what these things do. The neutron bombs inflict more pollution, supposedly, but they have a relatively smaller warhead. If I were to target St. Petersburg with them, it only gives me 17 points. It doesn't do that much. These things seem to be more designed to take on assets such as air bases, missile silos, and such. I have not, as of yet, been able to find a good use for them. Much like the HARM, I don't know why I would pick the HARM or the enhanced radiation weapon over, let's say, a standard air-launched ballistic missile, or, well, actually, no, the air-launched ballistic missile can do both. It can take out a cruise missile, or sorry, it can take out a radar site, but it can also take out anything that the medium-range ballistic missile could take out, the ERW. Now, am I missing something? No, I believe that covers quite a bit. There is probably something that I haven't covered yet. Oh yeah, the SROC. Let me just research that. I want to see what the specs on those things are. They removed the torpedoes and changed those to ASROCs. Now, normally torpedoes wouldn't really be used against shipping, because that's what you have your anti-ship missile for.
Research
there we go.
complete.
ASROC. This is the ASROC N. Nuclear tipped. Be careful with these things, they probably will start a nuclear war. Unfortunately... Oh, actually, no, it's not unfortunately. There are some submarines as unwilling targets. So let's have my helicopter shadow those. And let's see if I can bring the battlecruiser into range. I just got... No, no, no. You're a bit too good at your job, buddy. I need these things alive. I just need you to shadow them, not to kill them. Oh crap, it's probably gonna run out of fuel. Go back. These battlecruisers travel at 75 kph, or 75 speed units, whatever the game uses. I very much doubt it's 75 knots. Come on. There they are. I think I am catching up to them. Still not in range. No, don't kill them. I wonder where they're going. To South America. Oh, they are South American subs. Okay, I'm very much approaching the range here. If I can just get one more sonar confirmation on where they are. They're inside of range. Or are they? No, 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 not you. Come on. There we go. That's the ASRock. Splits into several warheads. Oof. And that is one dead submarine. No, sorry, it's not yet a dead submarine. But just look at what this thing does. It splits into multiple warheads, and that's without having researched MIRVs. But that is what the ASRock does. It splits into several warheads. It's like you're launching depth charges with a rocket. And the amount of terrain that they can cover is far better than what you could ever do with a submarine. Or sorry, with a torpedo. Now they're still running. Probably because my submarine or my ASRocks are not that accurate. This is a bit disappointing. I like how much splash they cause. I mean, this whole area is probably not going to be inhabitable by wildlife for a while. But I believe that we haven't really been able to do that much damage. Come here. No, they're still here. Still missed. Yeah, that finally killed them. And that killed the other one. Now, what I find these things to be useful for, of course, is taking out submarines. At greater range, potentially boomers on the surface. Although you could argue that for that, if they're on the surface, you don't need the ASRock, because the anti-ship missile will simply outrange them and immediately target them, provided you can spot them. Now, I believe that this covers just about everything that this mod has to offer. It is a mod that is in active development, so stuff might and probably will change as it develops. And I hope that you will enjoy it for yourself. Keep in mind that you will have to have everybody on the same page. Everybody has to have the same mod version, otherwise it won't work. So if you want to play with your buddies, make sure that they too carry the same mod. Aside from that, if you have any questions about the mod, post it down below in the comment section. If you get a reply from Original Duplicate, that is Tarsus. That is the mod creator. So if you have any questions, post them down below, and be sure to check in the description where you can find the link to the mod. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're going to enjoy the Super Naval mod. I certainly am. There is still a lot to unpack, still a lot to explore. And I am really looking forward to playing ICBM some more and dealing some nuclear naval devastation. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon for another video.